Hey everybody, and welcome to the next edition of the Soccer Fitness Goals video blog. We're almost done with the month of April, and what that means is that we have started to promote the second annual Soccer Fitness / University of Manitoba Bison Women's Soccer ID Camp. Now, the camp features a very good friend and colleague of mine, Coach Vanessa Martinez, who is presently the head coach of the University of Manitoba Bison women's soccer team. And she's also got a list of credentials and soccer experience that is really too long for me to go into here, so I'll just give you some of the highlights. As a player, she's done everything you can do in women's soccer, including playing in the NCAA with the University of Texas, Division I, playing for the Mexican women's national team at the U20 and senior levels, as well as playing professionally in the German Women's Bundesliga. She's also an accomplished coach with a UEFA Pro license from Germany, as well as being a member of the FIFA and UEFA Women's Soccer Technical Committees. And as if that wasn't enough, she's also got a PhD in sports science from the University of Leipzig in Germany. So, as I said, she is a colleague and a friend, and I'm honored to call her that, and also really excited to have her a part of our summer camp for the second year in a row. So if you're a parent of a female player born from 1999 to 2006, or if you're a player and you're watching this from those ages, what we'll do is we'll put up the link right now above my head to our website with the online registration form. As I mentioned, we are offering early bird pricing, which is available only until June 1st. The camp starts on July 17th, but the early bird pricing is only until June 1st. If you're interested and you'd like to take advantage of the pricing, click the link. So with that out of the way, the topic of the blog for this week is the second leg of the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals, which were played this week. And specifically, we're going to have a look at the second leg of the match between Bayern Munich from Germany and Real Madrid from Spain. So if you watched this game, and I hope you did because it was an exciting game, but as I said, if you watched it, then you know that Madrid came out on top in the game 4-2, and that made the aggregate score for over the two legs 6-4 in favor of Madrid. So obviously they've won and they've gone through. However, unfortunately, this game was marred by some controversy, and specifically a couple of the plays that we're going to have a look at now in the video, which are the two late goals that were scored by Cristiano Ronaldo, which really sealed the game for Madrid and prevented any chance that Bayern would have had to come back and win it. Now, as you can see in both of these videos, Ronaldo was clearly in an offside position when the ball was played to him. It isn't really something that can be argued. Both cases show clearly that he was offside, and the referees in this match, including the head referee as well as the assistant referees, have made a mistake. Hopefully it was an honest mistake, but regardless, a mistake, and actually two mistakes for two offside calls. So I'm not really going to be talking this week about whether or not Ronaldo was offside, because it's obvious that he was. The point that I want to make, and it's a point that I've brought up before, we'll put up the link to an article that I actually wrote in 2014, right after the World Cup in 2014. I'd gone to Brazil and watched some games, and really, in addition to watching the players, I was kind of interested in watching the referees. So in these games, I had a look at the refs and how much they were running and how hard they were working. And then I ended up doing some background research, and I found a fascinating study, recent study, and again, we'll put up a link to that as well if you're interested, but it examined the amount of running, and specifically the amount of high-intensity running that's done by top-class referees. And what they found was that top-class referees do, on average, about 1.5 kilometers of high-intensity running. And keep in mind, that's fast running. So they do 1.5 kilometers of fast running every game. Now, this isn't necessarily exactly the same as what the players on the field are doing, but you will see research that will show that outfield players in men's soccer anyway might do 1.2, 1.5, up to 2, possibly even up to 3 kilometers of high intensity running in a game. So what it means is that the referees on average are doing close to the same amount of high intensity running as a player does. So why is this a problem? Well, there are two reasons why it's a problem. The first reason is the age of referees. In top-level organizations like FIFA and UEFA, nobody becomes a referee, finishing all their training and certifications, until the age of 35. And they work typically until the age of 45. So you have to figure that even though they're being asked to run almost as much as the players do, they are 15 to 20 years older than the players, and there's nothing they can do about it. Even if you want to be a top-class referee and you've made that decision in your late teens or early 20s, you simply don't get there until the age of 35. So that's the first problem, is their age. The second problem, and this is just the reality of the game and the demands of the game, is that referees at this level are really expected to be perfect. So when you factor in the fatigue that will set in by doing that much high-intensity running in a short amount of time, plus their advanced age, the reality is that there's going to be lots of moments in the game, especially some of the decisive moments like there were in this game, where the referees are just simply tired. And even though they're tired, again, they are expected to be perfect and make the right decision every time. It's kind of interesting and even a little bit ironic that we would never expect an outfield player, again, who's younger, presumably in better shape and able to do the running. We wouldn't expect any player to be 100% perfect in a game. We'd expect some mistakes, and obviously the less mistakes they make, the better. But typically, again, there are mistakes that players make in the game, and they don't get scrutinized as much for the mistakes that they make as the referees do when they make mistakes. Of course, the mistakes that referees make, especially, again, in a game like this, they can be crucial and they can decide and affect the outcome of the game. But the point that I'm making is that overall, the professional game and international soccer is a little bit too demanding and is placing unrealistic expectations on referees at that level. So how do we solve this problem of the unrealistic demands that are placed on referees at the highest level in soccer? Well, FIFA and UEFA have already instituted some rule changes recently that are a good start, and those include the inclusion of goal line technology, as well as the addition of another official in each half who is pretty much designated to watch the goal line and the goal area. And again, those are a good start, but in my opinion, the next step in terms of a rule change that would pretty much eliminate this problem would be the addition of instant replay. Now, critics of instant replay point to the fact that there is a human element to the game of soccer, just like any other sport, and of course referees are human and humans make mistakes, so those mistakes that are made are part of that human element of the game. And another argument that's made is that the addition of instant replay, as we can see in other sports like American football, like hockey and basketball, is that it would slow the game down and cause too much of a delay. And again, those are both valid arguments, but the first one, the fact that there's a human element to the game, fair enough, obviously that's the case, but why not, given all of the unrealistic expectations that I outlined earlier that are placed on referees, why not try to even it out a bit and accept the fact that maybe they will make some mistakes, but if they do, we can potentially help them out and not have those mistakes cost unrealistic or unfair results for certain teams. That's how I'd address the first point. And the second point also can be addressed based on the fact that if you look at the amount of time after a controversial call is made, typically with players against whom the call has been made and that complain to the ref, that get in the referee's way, A lot of times you'll see arguments, cards being handed out, even fights. So the amount of time that's actually wasted because of the controversy of the call, and think of the delay that causes between the call being made and then play being restarted. So those issues would be eliminated if we added instant replay. And if you think of the examples that have been given in this case, which are the goals that were offside, I don't think it would take a referee longer than 20 to 30 seconds to watch a replay, a clear replay of the positioning of Ronaldo when the passes were made to him in this game when he scored the goals. Again, 20 to 30 seconds to watch those replays and determine that he was in fact offside and reverse the call. Again, it's my opinion. I'm sure there will be some people that would be critical of it, but the reality is that, in my opinion, you would not necessarily need to worry about the delay in the game, and you would also be able to eliminate a lot of the controversial decisions that are made that affect games, including this past game between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, by adding instant replay into the game. So that's it for the Soccer Fitness Goals video blog for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel by clicking on the link below if you haven't already done so. You can also click on the other link below to download our mobile fitness app, which provides a customized soccer-specific at-home fitness training program. We'll see you next week, and until then, keep reaching your soccer fitness goals.